What if you found a mysterious key in your mailbox, only to discover it unlocks a secret that could put a killer right next door? Welcome to Shocking Stories, where we expose the chilling truths hiding in the quiet corners of your neighborhood. Today, we're diving into a tale about a woman in Raleigh whose strange find revealed her neighbor's deadly past. Ever think a small object could unravel a nightmare? Buckle up, because this story will make you question who lives next door. Let's dive in. Jenna Walsh was a 32-year-old graphic designer living in a peaceful cul-de-sac in Raleigh, North Carolina, about 6 miles from the city's lively downtown. Her neighborhood was filled with manicured lawns and friendly waves, especially from her neighbor, Carl Bennett, a 60-year-old retiree who lived 50 feet away. Carl, a reserved man with a neatly trimmed beard, often tinkered in his shed, 20 feet from Jenna's backyard fence. One crisp morning, Jenna checked her mailbox, 30 feet from her front door, and found a rusty key with a tag reading CB. Her heart skipped a beat. Carl Bennett? Jenna hesitated, wondering if it was a mistake, but curiosity got the better of her. She confided in her friend Lauren, a true crime enthusiast who lived 4 miles away in Cary. Lauren, eyes wide, said, "That key's a clue, test it." Jenna noticed Carl's shed had a lockbox 20 feet from his back door, and the key's shape matched. Against her better judgment, she tried it late at night, 50 feet from her house, and the lockbox clicked open. Inside were driver's licenses, 5 women, all marked 2001-2005, with names tied to a Raleigh murder spree. Jenna's stomach churned. Her neighbor was linked to killers. What would you do if you found a key to a dark secret? Jenna searched online for the murders, finding articles about the Triangle Killer, who targeted women 10 miles away in Durham and Chapel Hill, never caught. One victim's ID matched a photo in the lockbox. Her fear grew. Was Carl the killer? She confided in Lauren, who suggested hiring a private investigator. Jenna contacted Mike Larson, a PI based 5 miles away in Apex, who specialized in cold cases. Mike agreed to investigate Carl, warning Jenna to stay discreet, as serial killers don't retire quietly. Mike's initial findings were unsettling. Carl Bennett moved to Raleigh in 2006, with no records before that, but a Carl Boone was a suspect in a 2000 mob hit in Charlotte, 150 miles south, never charged. Red herring. Jenna suspected Carl was a mob enforcer, not a serial killer, hiding in plain sight. She kept the key hidden in her nightstand, 10 feet from her bedroom, acting normal around Carl, but noticed him watching her from his porch, 50 feet away, his eyes cold. One night, her backyard motion sensor, 20 feet from her patio, caught someone near the fence. A text from an unknown number buzzed. Wrong key, wrong lock. Jenna's hands shook. Was Carl onto her, or was someone else watching? Ever feel like your neighbor's hiding a deadly past? Let's see where Jenna's search leads. You ever feel like you're living next to someone you thought you knew, but a single discovery turns them into a stranger who could end you? That's where Jenna was, holding a key that unlocked her neighbor's lockbox, filled with IDs from a 2000s murder spree. A shadowy figure in her yard and a cryptic text. Someone wanted her to stop digging. Welcome back to Shocking Stories, where we're diving deeper into a Raleigh mystery that's only getting darker. Ready to see what Jenna uncovers? This one's about to get intense. What would you do if your neighbor was a killer? Jenna's first step was to investigate Carl's past. She and Mike reviewed the lockbox IDs, noting victims were from Raleigh's Triangle area, killed between 2001-2005. Mike pulled Carl's records, finding a 2006 property deed but no birth certificate or prior addresses. A Charlotte article linked Carl Boone to a hitman for the DeSanto crime family, vanished after a 2000 bust. Red herring. Jenna thought the IDs were trophies from mob hits, not serial killings. She planted a recorder in Carl's shed, 20 feet from his house, catching him say, "She found something. Clean it up." Mike traced the DeSanto family to a Raleigh associate, Victor Klein, living 8 miles away in Wake Forest, who'd served time for racketeering in 2002. Jenna tailed Carl to a diner in Durham, 10 miles away, parking 150 feet back, and saw him meet Victor, exchanging a duffel bag. Jenna snapped photos, but Victor spotted her, his gaze chilling. Mike hacked Victor's phone, finding texts to Carl about the girl next door and burying the past. Jenna's fear spiked. Carl was covering his tracks. She confronted Lauren, who urged her to go to the police, but Jenna needed proof Carl was the triangle killer. Mike staked out Carl's house, 50 feet from Jenna's, seeing him burn documents in his backyard at midnight, 30 feet from the shed. Jenna searched the lockbox again, finding a hidden compartment with a hit list, including her name, dated 2025. Her blood ran cold. She was a target. Note that. Jenna realized Carl wasn't the triangle killer, but a retired hitman, hired to kill the victims for the DeSanto family. She checked Carl's shed again, 20 feet from his fence, finding a burner phone with calls to Victor. That night, her car was tailed for 2 miles from her office, losing the pursuer. A text buzzed, "You're unlocking trouble." Jenna took the IDs to Detective Sarah Nguyen at Raleigh PD, 5 miles away, who confirmed the Triangle murders were unsolved but suspected a contract killer. Nguyen hinted at a mob connection, unaware Carl lived next door. Jenna's anger flared. Her neighbor had fooled everyone. She installed a camera 20 feet from her backyard, catching Carl digging near the fence, 50 feet away. As she left for work, Victor's truck followed her for 3 miles, then vanished. Her phone buzzed. Drop the key. Note that. Jenna suspected Victor was the real mastermind, using Carl to clean up loose ends. Ever get that sinking feeling your neighbor's watching your every move? Let's see how Jenna fights back. You ever feel like you're one step from exposing a monster next door, but every move you make could be your last? That's where Jenna was, holding a key that unlocked her neighbor's hitman past, with IDs tying him to a mob's murder spree. A dug-up yard, a deadly tale, and a hit list with her name. Her life depended on stopping him. Welcome back to Shocking Stories, where we're about to hit the final twist in a tale that turned a key into a fight for survival. Ready for the shock of a lifetime? This one's going to hit you hard. What would you do if your neighbor was a hitman? Jenna took the evidence to Detective Nguyen, who linked the lockbox IDs to DeSanto's hits, not the triangle killer. Red herring resolved. Plot twist. Carl was a retired hitman, but Victor Klein was alive, orchestrating the murders, and now using Carl to silence Jenna. Nguyen planned a sting at Carl's house, 50 feet from Jenna's, but Jenna needed closure. She confronted Carl in his backyard, 20 feet from the shed, holding the key. "Who's on the list, Carl?" she demanded. His face darkened. "You should have left it alone," he growled, admitting he'd killed for DeSanto, but retired until Victor blackmailed him to target Jenna. Carl pulled a knife, lunging 10 feet away. Jenna screamed, dodging, as Lauren, alerted by a panicked call, ran in, 50 feet from the fence, distracting Carl. He chased Jenna to his shed, 20 feet away, where she grabbed a shovel, swinging it, knocking him down. Ween's team stormed in, cuffing Carl, 30 feet from the lockbox, but Victor was spotted fleeing to Wake Forest, 8 miles away. Jenna and Mike followed, with Nguyen's team 200 feet behind, to Victor's mansion, 100 feet from a gated drive. Inside, Victor held a gun, ranting about cleaning messes 50 feet from a hidden safe. Jenna stalled, asking about the IDs, and Victor laughed, saying Carl was a tool, red herring resolved. Mike tackled Victor, but he fired, grazing Jenna's leg, 20 feet away. Nguyen's team subdued him, seizing the safe's contents, hit contracts spanning 2001-2005, including the Triangle murders. Carl and Victor were charged with murder, conspiracy, and attempted assault, exposing a mob network across 100 miles of North Carolina. Jenna moved 120 miles to Wilmington, unable to stay near Carl's house. The worst part? Victor's prison calls hint at other hitmen in Raleigh, and Jenna locks her mailbox, fearing another key. Cliffhanger, a new key arrives, tagged JW. So, could you use a strange key after this? This is Shocking Stories, and we're just getting started. Hit that like button if this gave you chills, and subscribe for more heart-pounding tales. Comment, would you use a strange key? Share this video, because sometimes a small find unveils the deadliest secrets.